Yes! Today it's finally time for my demo and review of this wonderful and awesome RedSeven Amplification Leviathan Creation Series Joker Edition that was custom built for me. I recently did an unboxing video of this amplifier on the channel, and that was a lot of fun to make, especially because of the fact that when I opened the box, it was actually my first time ever seeing this amplifier, and it absolutely blew me away. So if you're interested in seeing my initial reaction to this amplifier, do check that video out up here or down here. So, RedSeven Amplification is a great company from Italy. I have a lot of love and respect for those guys, and I think that they are achieving very cool things. In this modern day and age, I guess it's just cool to see a sort of smaller boutique amp company thrive. You know, with all the modeling and digital stuff. I mean, tube amps are still absolutely awesome, of course. But they make more than just tube amplifiers, by the way. And if you're not aware, for the past 2 years or so, I've been using their load box, their reactive load, the RedSeven Amplification Amp Central, a lot on the channel. Probably in about 99% of all my videos. And I really love that thing. It's a great device. But now I finally have a RedSeven Amplification amplifier in the studio. And this thing is no slouch. Jack, you're my #1 guy. So yeah, I couldn't be more excited. I feel like a little kid in a candy store, basically. So internally, this is basically just a Leviathan, which is their high-gain flagship amplifier. But this one is highly customized, obviously. This is one of their Creation Series amps, and they don't make a lot of them. There's only one of these amplifiers in the entire world, and they won't ever make another one that's exactly the same as this. So it's a very unique piece. But I must say that the normal black version also looks really cool, in my opinion. I think about 6 months or so ago, I started talking to the guys about this amplifier, about a Leviathan, and I said to them, wouldn't it be cool if we made a sort of special Joker version, you know, with a purple Tolex or something and maybe some green? And Luca, who is one of their main guys, he said, say no more. We'll make you something cool. And boy, did it turn out awesome. It absolutely blew my mind. I love how this thing looks so much. The image of the Joker on the top of the Tolex, the colors, the why so serious texts on the side, the white front and back, the ha 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 laughs on the back, and they even added a little Joker figure hidden in the back. Such a cool little touch. So they obviously put a lot of love and care into this thing with a lot of attention to detail. And I really appreciate the fact that it's so unique and that I'm the only one in the world who has this one. Anyway, I could go on and on about how awesome this thing looks, but of course we're also here today to hear how it sounds. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the Leviathan was built in Italy by hand. It's a 120 watt amplifier with KD88s in the power section. It's actually the first amplifier in my collection that has those tubes. And I think they sound great, big and bold with plenty of headroom. And by the way, despite the fact that this is a 120 watt amplifier, it also sounds great at bedroom levels. And the circuits in this amplifier are completely original and originally designed by RedSeven. So they did not copy any other circuits. And channel 1 over here is kind of a hot-rodded Marshall type tone, but it really does its own thing. And then channel 2 is the high-gain monster. So that channel is obviously great for modern high gain, which is of course what I'm all about. Both channels have a bright switch, which you can see over here, which is on when you set it to the left position, by the way. And channel 1 also has a hot switch for adding more gain. And then we also have 2 separate master volume controls over here, which is great for boosting the level for solos and stuff like that. Each channel has a gain control, a 3-band EQ, and a volume control. And on the back of the amplifier, we also have a depth and a presence control for shaping that low end and that top end as well. Great, I just love those extra switches and features that enable you to really shape the tone to your liking. You can control the amp via MIDI, and there's also a high quality effects loop on the back, as well as a line out with a separate level control for that as well. And the amp also came with this custom foot switch, which is very cool. And this allows you to switch the hot mode on channel 1 on or off, switch the channels, and also switch the master volume controls. Now, finally, let's start with the clips. I just can't wait to show you guys how this amplifier sounds and what it can do. And of course, we're going to do that with a bunch of cool guitars, so stay tuned. Quick note on the signal chain. For all the clips, the amplifier will be fed into the RedSeven Amplification Amp Central reactive load as per usual, and then into some excellent sounding OwnHammer impulse responses, just to nicely round everything off. No EQ or post-processing will be added to the guitars except for a little low cut at 80 Hz or so. We'll start with some low gain stuff and then work our way up to the super heavy 8-string metal stuff. So we're going to start with channel 1. And it's not really a clean channel, it's actually a quite dirty channel, but you can get some very nice broken up clean tones when you set the gain quite low. But I really like the fact that you always get some nice saturation with the clean tones. I like how that sounds. So let's try a pushed clean tone with my ESP LTD Phoenix Deluxe 1000, the red one with the Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it, on the neck pickup, on the active voicing. And for these tones, the bright switch and the hot switch will be turned off. Let's take a listen right now. Very nice. Those were some beautiful clean tones indeed. Now the music, as well as the intro track, were really heavily inspired on the Joker, especially the more recent Joker movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed the music as well as the tones. Now let's try some more classic crunch tones on channel 1. And we're just going to crank the gain up quite a bit to achieve those tones. And for these tones, I'll use my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s with the Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge position. And again with the bright and hot switches turned off. Here we go. Awesome! Those tones were great. It sounded really organic and quite classic, but still unique. Lovely full mids with a great saturation. I really love the texture of the saturation on this channel. The guitars really sit in the mix quite well. So yeah, that was great. Now let's engage the bright switch as well as the hot switch for more gain, and let's get into modern rock territory. And for these tones, I'll use my ESP LTD Phoenix Deluxe 1000, the white one with the Seymour Duncan custom in the bridge. And I'll crank up the gain quite a bit for a nice and chunky rhythm tone. Here we go. That was absolutely awesome, nice and fat. And again, I really appreciate the unique character that this channel has to offer, especially the texture of the mids. It's a nice and full sounding channel with great definition, and it also sounds quite organic and fat. An original sounding channel for sure. So this channel by itself is already quite versatile. You can do a lot with this channel alone. Now let's move on to channel 2 for the really heavy stuff. And let's start with some 6-string tones with a passive pickup. And for that purpose, we'll use my ESP LTD NW44 with the bare knuckle aftermath pickup in the bridge, which is a pickup with a lot of girth and a lot of clarity and definition. So this will sound quite clear and punchy at the same time, but also with plenty of guts. So again, channel 2 with the bright switch on this time. Check it out. Oh yeah, that sounded great. So crunchy, so guttural, so clear, and with so much definition on the notes. Absolutely awesome. So it's tight and clear, yes, but at the same time it's also very organic sounding. Now with very tight and modern sounding high gain amplifiers, usually the sound can get quite sterile and cold, and sometimes even a little bit harsh, but not with this amplifier. So it still sounds very organic. And the cool thing is that the EQ is really musical sounding as well. It's just basically impossible to make this amplifier sound harsh. It always sounds good no matter how you tweak it basically. It fits the mix really well, and it just has a lot of definition on the notes. So yeah, it's really unique, and I have nothing else in my collection that sounds quite like this. So that was a very clear sounding guitar, and now I want to try a guitar that's a bit more thick and guttural sounding. And for that purpose, I'd like to use my ESP LTD EC1000T full thickness Eclipse, a very girthy guitar indeed, and it has an EMG 57 in the bridge position. And that guitar just tends to have a bit more lows and low mids going on, so it's a very thick sounding guitar indeed. Again on channel 2 with the bright switch on. Let's check it out. Very nice, that sounded huge. I really liked how tight and chunky those fast palm muted riffs sounded on this amplifier. Now I want to get into more modern metal territories, and we're going to start with my ESP LTD Phoenix Black Metal with the Fishman Fluence modern pickup in the bridge. And for these tones I use the passive voicing, as that voicing has a very nice and big sounding low end, which will complement this amplifier quite well. Again, channel 2 with the bright switch on. Check it out. And again, that sounded really nice. Now I want to go lower with a 7-string baritone to be precise, with my ESP LTD SCT-607B. And that guitar has an EMG 81.7 in the bridge position, and it will be tuned quite low to drop A flat to be precise. Let's go ahead and check it out right now. awesome. Quite huge and fat sounding indeed. Now I want to try my 8-string, my Ibanez M80M Meshuggah 8-string. And for this guitar, I do want to try a boost pedal up front just to see how that enhances the tone of those super low notes. And my boost of choice this time will be the Gubtech Mad Honker on the left side, which is basically a modded Tube Screamer type pedal. Again on channel 2. Let's go ahead and check it out right now. Really cool. So this amplifier can handle a wide range of tones quite well, and I think it sounds absolutely awesome. So yeah, obviously I'm super happy with this amplifier, and I feel very grateful for the fact that it's in my studio and that I get to own it. So as you heard in this video, it sounds absolutely great. And for more information, I do encourage you to visit the RedSeven Amplification website. And special thanks to the guys at RedSeven Amplification in Italy for building me this amplifier with so much love and care. I really appreciate it, guys. I already have some ideas for future videos with this amplifier, but do let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas. And also, of course, let me know what you think of this amplifier and what you thought of the sounds. That's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. I'd hugely appreciate that. And you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you very soon. Cheers. Why so serious?